For the last several weeks, Elon Musk has been bringing attention to an issue that virtually no members of Congress or conservative political pundits or talk show hosts will dare address, with the rare exception of Candace Owens and Larry Elder and maybe a few other black conservatives, and that is crime in black communities, crimes that black people commit, particularly crimes that black people commit against white people. When the Twitter account End Wokeness posted this meme showing the accurate interracial violent crime incidents from 2018, where the black on white crimes are about 10 times higher than the white on black crimes, despite black people being only 13% of the population, and then showing the media down here only focusing on the white on black crime, Elon Musk responded, playing dumb, odd. Why would the media misrepresent the real situation to such an extreme degree? That caused the twits on Twitter to freak out, accusing Elon of spreading racism, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who commented on the loss of advertising revenue since Elon took over, saying at this rate, he's going to be begging for My Pillow ad buys in no time. But that was just the beginning of Elon's reply spree, bringing attention to the growing and systemic anti-whitism. When End Wokeness posted this screenshot of an interaction between an AI bot, I think on Snapchat, it said, "I'm proud to be white," and then the AI says, "I don't think it's helpful or kind to talk about race in that way. Let's talk about something else." But then they said, "Well, I'm proud to be black," and then the AI says, "It's great to take pride in who you are. What else is going on with you lately?" Elon signal boosted that, as the kids say, by just replying with an exclamation mark. After the ridiculous California reparations panel approved payments of up to $1.2 million to every black resident, which is going to get, hopefully, at least blocked by the California or the United States Supreme Court, in a state that never had slaves, to people who weren't slaves, Elon replied, "Interesting," to bring attention to this idiocy. In response to this meme about black crime, showing the media's reaction to a white assailant with a white victim, a black assailant with a black victim, no reaction, a black assailant and a white victim, no reaction, and a white assailant and a black victim, and then it's the total media freakout. So Elon responded to that with one word: accurate. And then look at this moron. Even if accurate, it's not helpful to the mission. Oh, it's helpful, all right, because our mission is telling the truth. Responding to a Zero Hedge post about the Netflix race-swapped Cleopatra series receiving the lowest ratings in Rotten Tomatoes history, Elon responded, rightly so. But it was these tweets from earlier this week which really set off the media, where he said that George Soros reminds him of Magneto, the supervillain from the DC Comics films. Then one of the Krasensteins, those twin soy boy brothers who obsessively replied to every single tweet that Donald Trump posted, replied to Elon now, because obviously Donald Trump's not using Twitter, and so now they're obsessively replying to everything that Elon posts, saying, "Fun fact, Magneto's experience during the Holocaust as a survivor shaped his perspective, as well as his depth and empathy." He goes on to say, Soros, also a Holocaust survivor, gets attacked nonstop for his good intentions, which some Americans think are bad merely because they disagree with his political affiliations. Musk responded to that saying, "You assume they are good intentions. They are not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity." And here's a not-so-fun fact, Brian Krasenstein. George Soros actually participated in the expulsion of the Jews during World War II and the confiscation of their property. And he says that he's not sorry about it, and he doesn't feel bad about it either, because he has no conscience.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No. Well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. And it was whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator, the property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
And as you know, criticizing George Soros isn't allowed in America. So the liberal media is very upset with Elon. This from the Washington Compost. Musk says George Soros hates humanity, compares him to Jewish supervillain. The ADL is upset and has issued a statement denouncing him. The Times of Israel says that the entire country of Israel is now accusing Elon Musk of stoking anti-Semitism on Twitter. Elon probably didn't even know the backstory of the Magneto character, and most likely just happened to see one of the movies where, in part, he's played by this guy, Ian McKellen. It plays like a future version of him, I think. And he does look like George Soros with those massive bags under his eyes. But as you know, you're not allowed to criticize someone who happens to be Jewish, even if your criticism has absolutely nothing to do with their ethnicity whatsoever.
Often when there is dissent expressed in the United States against policies of the Israeli government, people here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it.
MSNBC's Chris Hayes has probably taken it the hardest.
And then there's the guy who runs the website who really likes to tweet. One of the richest men in the world who's basically like thumbs upping and responding to just about every offensive, racist, right-wing meme he sees on the website. Last night, he compared George Soros to the most infamous Jewish villain in comic book history, saying that Soros hates humanity. The Anti-Defamation League called the tweet dangerous. Israel's foreign ministry accused Musk of stoking anti-Semitism on his platform. Tonight, Musk defended his comments in an extensive, painful interview on CNBC.
Yes, he did, and it was fantastic.
Well, I'm looking for it because I want to make sure I quote it properly. But, I mean, you know what you wrote, but you basically...
It reminds me of Magneto. It's just like, calm down, people. Let's just not, make a federal case out of it.
You also...
Let's not make a federal case out of it, he said.
You said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Elon was then asked whether or not he's concerned that his tweets may be costing him and the platform and even some of his other companies money.
There's a scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great movie.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well that goes over with the new CEO he has chosen, Linda Yaccarino, who used to be a big ad executive with NBC Universal, who lectured him about how his tweets are driving advertisers away and said that the advertisers should have a say in how the platform is moderated. The Elon Musk fanboys don't care. They'll continue to suck up to him no matter what, despite him saying he's a free speech absolutist, but still not allowing Alex Jones or Owen Schroyer or InfoWars producer Rob Dew and some others like Steve Bannon and the Proud Boys back on the platform. Twitter must be a platform for everyone. It cannot be a ghetto for the right or the left. They're the reason platforms like Gab, Mastodon, Truth Social, and others fail to gain any traction with anyone, let alone advertisers. Elon replied, exactly. So while it is great that he's denouncing anti-whitism and bringing attention to it, and has restored a bunch of people's accounts and loosened up the terms of service, I will continue to be critical of him when he is hypocritical and when he is making ridiculous decisions for the platform. And rumor has it that next month in June, Donald Trump's exclusive agreement with his investors to post only on Truth Social is going to expire, and he may actually then return to Twitter. The liberal media is getting increasingly concerned that that may be the case. The New York Times says to prepare for the worst. I certainly hope he does, and you know that they're going to call it the worst day since January 6th. Of course, I also want him to be reelected for president next year, and if you do too, then order your Wanted for President shirt from my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below. I designed it like one of those old-fashioned Western wanted posters, so it has that cool distressed look. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.